Sub-Zero, who many will recognize from Mortal Kombat, is the newest fighter to jump in Injustice 2. He brings a whole moveset of icy attacks and quick combos that makes him an absolutely devastating opponent to deal with. While he's a solid option to play as though, Sub-Zero can be tricky to use if you don't know how to play him properly to his strengths. That is why I made this guide to help you make sure you're well prepared for combat. Welcome to my Sub-Zero strategy guide. What's going on, guys? My name is MadDoggGames and welcome to my first Injustice 2 strategy guide. In this video, we're going to be covering everything you need to know about Sub-Zero and going over strategies that can help you in battle. With that being said, let us get started. Before anything else, let us take a look at Sub-Zero's strengths and weaknesses. Alright, for Sub-Zero's strengths. Now, he's a good rushdown character for close and mid-range. He dominates the corner position. He creates multiple opportunities using his Ice Clone trait, and has very good damaging combos. Now for his weaknesses. He has predictable combo starters because of his lack of overhead starters. Opponents will be able to block easily against you. He can't deal with fast zoning projectiles. Because of his projectiles slower than true zoning characters, it can be very hard to trade projectiles with any other character. And the clone can't protect you from all that zoning either. Meter burning your ice ball can be good if you can get your opponent off guard, but either way, you can't afford to spend your meter burn for it. Now, lastly, long range combat. With an opponent that likes to keep their distance from you, and I mean likes to back away every single time, it can be very hard for Sub-Zero to sometimes get in there, unless you are playing with gears on because of Sub-Zero's teleportation. But for someone that likes to play gears off, it can be a little challenging to play Sub-Zero in a long range combat. Now let us go over his character trait. Sub-Zero character trait is called Cryomancer and it allows Sub-Zero to create an ice clone of himself. If the opponent touches the ice clone, it will freeze them, allowing you to do any additional attacks. You also have a few options on what to do with Cryomancer. First, it can block a single projectile, allowing you to use Sub-Zero Ice Ball when trading projectiles. Second, you can choose to throw Ice Clone to your opponent to deal damage from a distance. Third, you can decide to blow up your Ice Clone by standing next to it and use Ice Burst to increase the explosion to deal damage near them. Fourth, you can use Ice Clone and then slide into your opponent to make them land into your Ice Clone. Be aware because this setup can be very predictable. Fifth, lastly, the meter burn version allows 2 Ice Clones to appear, allowing you the option to throw one and use one for cover if you like. Cryomancer is one of the fast charging character trait in Injustice 2. So there should be no reason for you not to use it. Sub-Zero Ice Clone is great for rush and aggressive opponents like Bane, Atrocitus, Black Canary, and Flash who likes to close the gap during a fight. As always, let us start off with Sub-Zero's special moves. Ice Burst, down back 1. Sub-Zero slams his fist into the ground, causing a cloud of ice to knock a nearby enemy back. The Meter Burn version adds a dashing elbow attack, knocking the opponent across the screen. This is great for pressuring or pushing the opponent to the corner to take the advantage. Polar Puncture, down back forward 1. Polar Puncture is a command grab that grabs a nearby enemy and stabs them with an icicle for a good amount of damage. This will be your combo ender for most of Sub-Zero's combos. Now for the Meter Burn version, after being stabbed, the opponent will be frozen and is vulnerable to any additional attacks. This is great for extending your combos for dealing massive amount of damage. Ice Ball, down forward 2. Sub-Zero throws an icy projectile towards his opponents. The Meter Burn version freezes the opponents, making them vulnerable for any additional attacks. Another special thing about the Meter Burn version is that it could go through any high projectiles, which makes it worth the projectile trade sometimes. Air Frost Hammer, air down back 2. While jumping, Sub-Zero slams an icy hammer into the ground, dealing damage to anyone who is near him. The Meter Burn version adds an additional forward strike with the hammer for more pressure. Slide, back forward 3. Sub-Zero slides forward on a trail of ice, knocking his opponents into the air. This special move also makes you switch sides from your opponent. The meter burn version deals more damage towards your opponent. Now that we've gone over his special moves, let us now go over some effective Sub-Zero combos. Now let us start off with a few bread and butter combos. These combos that I'm about to show you right now will be your go-to combos, since they do very good damage. You also want to push your opponent into the corner so that you can take advantage of Sub-Zero's strengths, and that is corner pressure. Alright, now let's go over some ice clone combos. Sub-Zero is a nightmare in close range combat. He's not as fast with his fists compared to other characters in the game, but his combos are all about mixing up play, pushing players, and taking advantage freezing your opponent. With that being said, you want to be aggressive when playing Sub-Zero. When playing Sub-Zero, you want to keep in mind that you want to get your opponent into the corner so that you can take advantage of Sub-Zero's strengths. Using Enhanced Ice Burst as a combo ender is a good way to set up for your corner pressure. Once in the corner, use Ice Clone to keep them trapped in the corner. Now it's most likely that you will face a lot of zoners in Injustice 2. For that, you're going to want to use Slide, Ice Clone, and Enhance Ice Ball wisely. Your goal now is to close the gap and get in mid or close range combat. Make sure you use Ice Clone to protect yourself when trading projectiles. Remember, your Enhanced Ice Ball can go through high projectiles, so use it once in a while. Don't try to burn all your meter just trying to get closer. Make sure to use Enhanced Ice Ball during mid range. Doing it at far range will give your opponent a lot of time to dodge your slow moving projectile. So remember, play close to your opponent with Sub-Zero. Close range is the sweet spot. When in mid range, use your Slide or Ice Ball to create a way to move in closer. You always want to be close and take advantage of your Ice Clone. By doing this, you'll find yourself mastering this character in no time. And this concludes my first strategy guide. I hope you guys have a better understanding on how to play Sub-Zero now. Anyways, I do have more strategy guides coming up in my channel soon, so be sure to subscribe now to check them out in the near future. If you guys want to get notified for any of my future guides, please click the bell icon near the subscribe button. Join and be part of the notification squad. If you liked this video and found it helpful, be sure to give this video a like. Liking this video will motivate me to continue doing more. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. My name is MadDoggGames, and I'll see you guys next time.